It's different when you have to do it with one hand. Let me just sign in, please. Oh my god. If I die, forget it. Nobody's going to be able to access anything. I mean, I can't. I'm struggling. There we go. Oh. I'm not going to talk a lot on this live, unless there's something in the chat to talk to. I'm currently watching a video. I'm currently in between a lot of interesting things. And because of that, I'm just trying to find the calm in the chaos, as it were. I had a visitor yesterday. That's a whole story in itself. There has been several. There are several stories in itself. But enough about that. I will go in and I will watch this video that I started. And probably have some thoughts during that video because he's talking about something that I've been experiencing a lot of. I know that is cryptic. That's kind of the point. Let me see. I'm trying to navigate YouTube first. I'm trying to be a little bit prepared. Just like a little bit on top of things. Which I'm not. I just shoot from the hip. Create the plane in the air. And that has been my method for so long. And I like that method. Where the hell? There we go. That was a lot more stressful than I intended. See if it works. Yep. Beautiful. Everything seems to be as it should. And we are at healthy. Last time I tried this, there were so many things going wrong. I was just complaining all over the place. Started to feel a little bit tired of the complaining that YouTube did. And TikTok, not to mention TikTok. And Twitch. I was all over the place. But that's probably going to change after I watch this video. Maybe I can just simulate for you guys. So I'm not going to play the sound though. Because if I play the sound, all of a sudden they will have something to say on that. There we go. So we can do that and then you can just... And then I can probably write that so that people know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not engaging. Let's see. There you are. And then let's see if we can do this stealthy. Yes, I can. I will, and I can. Okay. Oh shit, this is one of those. Probably didn't say anything. Like that didn't make sense to you, but I tried something. Oh, now you saw my entire secret. That wasn't my intent. But I should be able to write something here and then just be able to pop it over, which is a freaking superpower. Talk about that. Chime in. And he is called... Figure that out later. Reference the source and all that stuff. Chime in. Watching news with that sound. And I got a snap, so I'm gonna go in. I'm just gonna vibe. I'm just gonna do whatever. Figure it out. God damn it. Snapchat is also so buggy lately, or it is bugging me. There we go.
Let's get into that.
I'm not sure how this could play out.
Let's go through the parts of their response that really stood out to me. Firstly, I asked them why my account was permanently banned earlier last year, and they said that I temporarily connected to a Wi-Fi network which was previously used by an account with a lot of violations. Now, that for me was more shocking than if my content was against their guidelines. Because remember, I got banned without the ability to appeal. So imagine if I didn't have the reach that I have to get in contact with someone at TikTok and sort this out. I may have never got my account back for something as simple as connecting to a Wi-Fi network at the Airbnb that you're staying at. Just imagine
God
TikTok
damn.
being your full-time job and your account gets removed overnight for something as simple as connecting to Wi-Fi. Things you can't even protect against. What happened?
I went on the app like normal, and a little like information bar popped up and basically just said that I need to edit my profile because I'm posing as another person or an organization in a confusing way. But anyway, I obviously I couldn't edit my profile. I tried to appeal it, and then one day just went on the app and they say your account has been permanently banned. They just would not let me access my account. Just disappeared.
Just because you looked and sounded like me.
I assume so, but they never really gave an explanation for that. Bam! Wiped out in a day. Just permanently deleted. What? And then there's nothing you can do. You can't. I tried appealing. They're like, appeal denied. What can you do?
This is a real issue.
Secondly, I asked why 5 of my reports on the Venezuela situation were removed, and they said that one of my posts, this one is crazy, one of my posts was shared by another user, and that user was wrongfully moderated by TikTok. As a result, the original video, which was my video, got penalized with the same result. So at this point, people who share my videos daily, that could end up
Whoa.
causing
Hi.
my videos to get taken down. I mean, it's
No.
starting to feel like you can breathe.
That was intense, even though it didn't look like it. Let's continue.
Wrong on this platform and your content can get removed.
Yeah, so my TikTok got banned recently. I was doing it for about 6-7 years full time. Long story short, they banned me over a video of myself flying over New York City with my legs out the helicopter.
Did they give you a reason when that video got taken down?
Dangerous activities. You got your seatbelt on, you got a harness on. You know, there's many others videos like it, and I tried to explain that to them, but they told me no matter how many times I email them, the outcome will not change.
Now, in their defense, they also disclosed to me that a staggering 100 million videos get uploaded to TikTok daily. And I'll be honest, that is some serious scale that they have to moderate. And they said in just 3 months last year, 186 million videos were removed. That's an average of 2 million videos per day. But here's where things get scary, because yesterday I also spoke with an anonymous source, and they asked not to be named for legal reasons, and they told me this.
TikTok have their moderation teams. They've sacked them all. I know some of them personally. So what happened is that they've used our moderation team to train their AI tools besides them save money. And now, moderation mistakes are happening left, right, and center. The result is that this platform is now being moderated incorrectly. People hate AI, and this is a good example of AI replacing humans.
Now, it's not just my source telling me this. Sky News, they spoke to 3 whistleblowers from the UK's moderation team, and they said that more than 400 online safety workers have agreed to leave the company, with allegedly only 5 individuals left. Obviously, that places a huge burden on the AI moderation, and TikTok have told me that 85% of content removed off of the platform is done so by automation. The Sky News is saying that 400.
I've been working 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Well, what did they say was the reason?
We will move to another country because it will be more cheaper.
Do you think they hired 400 more humans or no?
Not at all. No.
And it's not just the UK's moderation team. Reuters report that human layoffs and the move towards AI moderation is happening globally. Quote, the layoffs began the same day as for the teams in Asia, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And that is where it seems we get to the root of the issue, because AI simply doesn't understand context in the same way that humans do. Think that the AI is accurate and capable enough to do what you were doing?
AI will never be like a human. Never. For the creator, it will be like because they over-tagging, over-banning, it can live now in the platform.
Once you kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. That was awesome.
It does not promote fearlessness, and it does not let you post anything that is you doing something that it doesn't like. You sat down on the edge of a cliff, you had some lunch, and it was super safe. There's no wind or anything. It's like that's promoting dangerous activities, and you're a threat to society. And it's like,
that sounds like a machine looking at a situation like that, I'm not understanding the context to the situation and removing it.
I consistently get comments. Almost every video, as a matter of fact, these days are filled with comments just saying, I've been following you for years and I haven't seen you in forever. Why don't I see you anymore? And it's frustrating because I don't know what's different from the content that used to go viral. It's still going viral on Instagram, on Facebook, on other platforms, and now TikTok's become like one of my least favorite platforms because of that. So
you see, to me, TikTok feels like a platform that has grown so quickly that its infrastructure couldn't even keep up, and as a result, it feels like they are over-relying on AI and technology to moderate. And I have a pretty hilarious example of that. So when I stood back from TikTok, I decided to post this video to the platform, and it was basically just a little jab at TikTok saying, hey, this is the kind of content you want me posting, right? Instead of important news, dancing away with KSI and News Baby. And it's just some AI slop. But the thing is, that got taken down for weapons. So I appealed it, because obviously there's no weapons in there, and they denied it and gave my account a strike. For that, if you get more than 3 strikes, your entire account can be banned. So that was clearly not a human looking at that, and as a result, it put my entire account in jeopardy. And here's the thing, I'm tempted to give TikTok grace for things like that. They've got 100 million videos being uploaded per day. But on the other hand, I want to take that grace back, because every single person that I've ever spoken to say the only platform that they face these kinds of moderation issues is, you guessed it, TikTok. Have you ever had any videos that have been taken down from TikTok and also taken down on similar platforms? Is TikTok the only one?
TikTok is the only one, yeah.
So that video that ultimately got you banned, did that post get taken down on any other platform?
No. That's the thing, mate. Nowhere else.
That leads us to the assumption that TikTok is doing something differently, and that thing that they are doing differently is not
working.
But it might be worse than just not working. It might be actually breaking some laws.
Called the European Media Freedom Act. So according to this act, a platform should inform a news organization that they want to delete a video and why. And then there should be an option to appeal this decision. And TikTok isn't doing that. It completely operates on its own. This is also interesting. So this same law also addresses shadow banning. Basically, a platform, the EU, isn't allowed to shadow ban a video without prior notice and consultation. TikTok is actually breaking that law.
And when I spoke to one of the former moderators TikTok made redundant, they said the company has the ability to reduce visualization of a post if that video violates a non-serious policy, but they don't notify a user in this case. And the user doesn't get notified of that.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, absolutely fine. I posted TikTok. Gone. Now, the company I work with, it was a promo. I was promoting the helicopter ride in exchange for the ride, and they said to me, it's never been this bad. Like, we've never had this issue before, so TikTok is changing dramatically. And it's getting to the point where no one wants to be on the app anymore.
But honestly, we don't know what exactly that is. It's a mystery. And that's like one of the main points that I want to make. TikTok is a company that is just shrouded in mystery. When I was over at ByteDance's headquarters, this is what they said. So how many people work at TikTok in here?
Generally, we don't know the exact number because the structure of the company. It's like a mystery.
I was told by one of the coders at ByteDance, of course off the record, that not even he fully understands what is going on with their algorithm. And I don't know, maybe that makes the whole situation a lot worse. We don't know a lot about TikTok. What have you found so far that's been surprising, alarming?
The first thing really surprised me that this TikTok insider told us about the algorithm, that it's a complete black box. No one can really put their finger on how it works.
That brings us to the money. So, excuse the crazy scene change, but we are shooting another video in Canada, and this is an entire frozen lake. And we still need to finish this TikTok video up. I think we were talking about monetization. And ironically, speaking about that, the only reason we are able to, shoot out here is because of YouTube. Before we started YouTube, it doesn't make any sense to come all the way out here and shoot videos like this for short form because, you could post your video and it could be taken down. Like, seriously, imagine coming all the way out to Canada to shoot this crazy video and it gets taken down by the moderation team. Or, you don't get paid anything, 1 cent per 1,000 views. It doesn't make any sense. And I think a lot of people were surprised when they found out that I was making 1 cent RPM, which is the lowest amount possible. But the thing is, it wasn't always like this. As you can see from this graph, like, it has been a steady decline. Even from this year, it was doing pretty well, and now it's just been this slow, steady decline to abysmal levels. And the craziest part is that I've heard a lot of creators speaking about this, that recently there has just been this drop in the amount that TikTok is paying. And to be honest, when I asked TikTok if there is any truth to this, one, they didn't really specify. They didn't answer that question. They just gave me this long, roundabout way of saying, this is how creators get paid, and this is how much a video is worth to advertisers, which is all publicly available. What they did deny, though, is that there was a 30 video limit on how much you can get paid. But the thing is like, we don't really know, one, how much TikTok is earning, and two, how much they are actually sharing of what they earn with their creators. And look, I'm not gonna stand here and say that, TikTok should be paying its creators more. I actually do think that it's a genuinely tough problem to sort out and fix on short form. And that is the problem. It's short form that is the problem. But what I can tell you is that I got paid more with 3 million views on long form on YouTube than I did 300 million views on TikTok. That was a wake-up call for me, and I was like, this is not sustainable. And actually, YouTuber Mark Jones made a really good point on this topic.
I was just at the TikTok Awards. I met a super talented TikToker, 600k followers, getting tens of millions of views, and she was still working a full-time job while living with her parents. Now, I'm not sharing this to shame her, I'm sharing this to illustrate a problem. 80 to 90% of the short-form creators I meet are starving artists.
And I think that's what really worries me about the social media space right now. I think TikTok TikTok came along and unintentionally broke the creator economics. You know, they became so successful that every other platform, including YouTube, Instagram, and they copied the hell out of TikTok. And because of that, you've got this whole new generation of creators that are exclusively short form that are getting millions and millions of views. Everyone knows their names, but they are hardly making any money, or at least not as much as you would expect them to be.
They all talk about how jealous they are of long-form creators. Short-form content is just so much less sustainable. The ad revenue sucks, the conversion rate's terrible, sponsors won't pay as much for it, and in the past we've seen extreme versions of what can happen when content creation becomes less sustainable. Platforms like Vine didn't die because viewers stopped watching, they died because creators got sick of getting millions of views while still struggling to make ends meet.
And that's the thing, that is exactly why I had to start prioritizing YouTube. It's harder, but the payoff once you actually make it is a lot greater. You can start putting more weight into your videos. And that's the thing, YouTube's profit split with their creators is the sole reason why creators like Speed, Mr. Beast, the Sidemen exist. The short form equivalent simply doesn't. They're able to make their money, reinvest that money back into their content, and now they're honestly competing with the likes of Hollywood production studios. And that's why when a creator gets really big on TikTok, they end up just wanting to leave to YouTube because it only makes sense. So there is this talent vacuum on TikTok, which honestly, it's sad to see. And I really want there to be a thriving place where you can make money and continue on short form on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, it's a tricky problem, as I said, but I really need a pee, so let's cut to the next scene. So what happens now? Well, I feel like I've been creating on the platform for such a long time, and now it finally feels like I've said everything that I've wanted to say. It's very clear that there is a big problem for creators on TikTok right now. And I genuinely hope that this video can inspire something to change, because I love TikTok and I want to see it thrive. I want to continue thriving on TikTok as well. And for those of you TikTok employees watching this right now, I hope that you see this video as a way of your creators caring enough about the platform to say something and want something to change and not just let it die off like Vine or something like that. But I also acknowledge that maybe that's not always going to be the way that this is going to be seen. And I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what TikTok is going to look like for News Daddy for the coming years. But yeah, as always though, let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. I'm going to continue shooting YouTube videos right now. As you can see, we are out shooting an amazing video. So I thought we'd give you guys something to look at and hopefully see you on TikTok.
That was an interesting confirmation, I would say. TikTok has changed, but so has a lot of other social media. Facebook and all these different platforms are now taking turns on responding to different things that goes against their narrative. I've been feeling this personally, so this is why we've been focusing a lot on the whole phygital aspect of things, where we are more inviting people into the round table physically at an address, because the internet is currently going through what could be seen as the adpocalypse back in 2020 something, when platforms implemented a few new things that had catastrophic outcomes for people who had been on the platform for a long time. Just automated implementation, and then no chance of appealing. Like, once that happened, you were fucked. You were like permanent ban. And this is happening again now, because now they're using Meta AI, they're using TikTok algorithms, which, as they say, is like a black box. Nobody really knows what it does, but it's fucking creepy. And then you have all these other different AI tools, and you have AI girlfriends now, and you have all these different technologies coming in to suck the soul out of your anus. But that's not what I'm going to talk about right now. There is a reason that I'm live on YouTube and not TikTok. For instance, it is because I didn't turn off the camera in OBS. But to be fair, TikTok, when you want to stream on TikTok, you go into the program, and the program has all the power. You can do shit. You have to kind of follow the rules regardless. And now there are new rules that makes you kind of even more limited. So here I am just figuring, maybe we should just trust the biggest evil that has been there all the time. because all these different technologies has been in our pockets, on our wrists, and in our phones, and all over the place for a long time now. This is what's scary. You have ChatGPT, OpenAI, right? You have Claude, you have Misanthropic, you have, or is it Anthropic? You have so many different models. Grok, you have Gemini, and Gemini, it's Google's child. It is implemented in everything Google owns, and Google owns a lot of shit. So it's a very, very, very informed LLM and a very, very informed AI assistant. And, you know, all these companies, they just want to make money, so they can't really stop evolving. They have to develop with the technology that is currently at hand, and if you don't, they're just going to fall and sink, which means that people are taking rash decisions and doing things that they never should have even thought about doing before having gone through at least a few trial periods in a secured and closed-off environment. But that's not something that we're going to talk about in this video either. You know, we have this bubble going on right now where people have been living a life based on freedom created by either OnlyFans or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever, this whole creator lifestyle. And then now that is all taken away. And most of those people didn't really have many practical skills. So when the power goes out now, you're fucked. There are so many things that it's just going to go straight to hell. But that's also not what we're going to talk about. I don't know really what we're going to talk about. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that the TikTok algorithm has been confirmed. There is mystical things happening in there. And that YouTube is the OG. It will always continue to be the best at finding the people and limiting whatever and just being a content platform. Everyone else seems to be in much more of a impactful situation. Like, they tried to be something. They then saw the consequences of being something. They had to adapt. But one platform has tried to keep the same trajectory all through. The OGs. Not sure if I even make sense right now. I don't really care, because I have a lot of things that is currently taking place. I'm looking for a massage table or a massage chair. Doesn't really matter. One of those. And it's because of many reasons. This place was also a sanctuary last night. It acted like it lived its function, basically. And it was by word of mouth. So, yesterday was, in my eyes, it was just a huge success for everything that has been taking place. I have several new dates to adhere to, and tomorrow there is a meeting that will go a little bit. Who knows? This is going to be an interesting meeting. And tonight, there's Tribe Talk. Oh, tomorrow evening, it's Wednesday evening. For those people who know what that means, it's like my midweek pattern interrupt, and I have a ceremony, or I have like a ritual. Now I will start to do that here at Death's Waitingroom, which is incredibly fitting. For so many reasons. Oh, I just went on a little journey. I had a very interesting visual, which I'm not going to talk about. Not here. Not in this forum. I have learned. That too, God damn it. I've seen that. I have to really figure out something that works for my own self and for the whatever thing is going on online, which has been a journey and a half. Currently, there exists a piece of footage of me blowing a Viking horn with a fucking wolf howling by my side. There are things existing right now that has been documented, not by me, which makes the whole process so much more intense, because normally, I like to be able to spontaneously jump into whatever project that fits my hyperfocus at the moment. But lately, I've been trying to outsource and trying to basically rest on other people's expertise and skills and passions. And that has been an interesting journey, a very interesting journey indeed. Very much, including a lot of photography and stuff, and a very specific energy and a very specific look within photography, like a vibe, an energy. We call it the something that I'm talking a lot about lately because it's something that I'm trying to just see if it makes sense. If it makes sense in the context that it does for me, because I think that I see it quite, or maybe slightly, different than many other people. But that is of no consequence, because it seems to make sense. We are all in agreement of the things that we observe. It's felt, that's the thing. And we can feel something, it's kind of hard to deny. But speaking of, not really speaking of, to be honest, but I have a thing that I've been working on now for many years. I found it a few days ago. It carries a symbol that is also on my mailbox. And it is currently something that will take place regardless of what I want. I've talked about it for many, many years. Many people are probably sick of hearing me talk about it. But I found it a few days ago because it came up in discussion, right? Hold on. Whoop. So, the rune on the back end here is actually a misprint. Didn't know that. I did not know that. I thought that it was correct in terms of Fehu, Manars, and Lagus. And it was the elder Futhark, but I don't think it was. I think that the Manars actually was the newer Futhark, or the younger Futhark. It's so hard to say that so many times after, like in sequence. But this is now on my mailbox. Thank you to a very special person for that. And I'm currently just a few hundred meters away from where I first pictured this. Yeah, this looks horrible, I know, because this was the first AI-generated image that I saw. It kind of revolutionized how I saw the world, because holy shit, this was not there when this was a sentence just moments ago. Actually, I think it was a minute. Back in the day, the AI was not really fast. But it started something. Because this was a visual, right? Before this, I had just taken down everything in paper. Just the practicals, the admins. And it just goes through different things that I wanted to have in such a center. Like just a longhouse, a fucking bonfire with a roof over it. It took off, of course, as many things tend to do if you just believe and love in things. See, this is when things got a little bit updated. All of a sudden, the AI could create... Well, it still looks artificial as shit. But I started to see that, okay, it's onto something. It's giving me ideas that I didn't really picture. And now, this is 3 years ago. Now, this image is tangible. It's not even tangible. It's it's possessive. It has taken over my soul. It's like my Mars. It's like the Mars to the Elon. If that makes sense to some of you. I have been focused on this because everything in my life has kind of taken a path, and then I have to adapt to whatever happens on that path. And every single freaking thing, intentional or unintentional, has taken me towards that. And now let's just fuck the fact that I'm sitting here in this location right now, referred to by the society at large as Death's Waitingroom, as a fucking awesome place to live. It's a little paradise, I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that it is so close to the original place, and that the original place even have 4 layers of extra mystery on top of it now that I've been close enough to see and just to really smell it, It just gets more and more clear. And then the more I talk about it, the more I'm fueled up about it. The more I say what if we had a fucking outdoor screening of The Matrix with a bonfire? And then we just talked about it afterwards. Would that be awesome? And now other people come up yes, we could bring Coco. I'm fuck yes. I mean, how hard can that be? And then we do it. And then people are like, that wasn't really hard at all. I know. Should we try another thing? So far, there has been a fuck ton of talks. But in the last few months, there's been a fuck ton of bonfires. And now everything is kind of taking in place, right? They see that it is possible. And so with that possibility and that experience, one can do another thing that kind of, what if that? What? No? And the more people that play together, the more people create together. It's like a fucking perpetual loop. And I like that. That's a good feeling, to be honest. Because now everything is aligned. Everything is like where I need it to be in order to just get to the place where I seem to have been heading towards all the fucking time. But with so many kind of adaptations that took a chunk of time or energy or pain, like it cost, I'm going to make a fucking manifestation course, and then I'm going to have a disclaimer. Disclaimer, might bring you what you want. Beware, everything has a cost, depending on how you deal with the situation that will arise, because you now start to do things that you actually want. And all those things. Nah, not going to rant. I'm going to actually just pop off, because I've been on for 36 minutes. Wanted to see a few things. What happens if you just have something reproduced? You watch a video on YouTube while you stream on YouTube. Copyright terms. Will that make you a flagged channel if you have kind of gone above and beyond the fair use rule? Or will it help to credit that video, like Dylan Page? We need to talk about TikTok. You should check that video out if you didn't see that in this entirety, because it was a good video. But then just having this on the end, talking like this, I'm testing a lot. You are my proverbial spaghetti at the moment, and I have tossed you at the wall, and I want to see how you stick. I'm going to document a lot more from Death's Waitingroom. And actually, before I go, I'm going to see if I can get banned. I'm going to see what happens if YouTube is strict, if it reacts to just, audio, if it reacts to video, and I'm going to do that smart. Oh shit, I can't see. I'm in the shower, basically. This is shower talks. And I'm wondering, should I start a fucking OnlyFans? Just to start an OnlyFans? Just, now I talked in the shower. I use the technology in my head called the reticular activating system. What happens is that when you start to do things in the shower that you usually do every day, those things that is just on autopilot, like when you're wiping your ass or you're drying your off after the shower, or shaving, or, lathering yourself up with soap, whatever it is, you have a specific thing that you do. When you brush your teeth, you probably start at the same time or the same place. You do the same routine. You get what I mean, right? When you're in the shower, you go into autopilot and your brain starts doing things. So I mounted a camera in there, because I've had a lot of experiences where I'm just talking to myself about a problem that I'm trying to solve. And what happens in the shower is you turn on the entire parasympathetic nervous system, whatever. And then the reticular activating system, if you have focus on one thing, it will start to pick up other things. And you're kind of busy shaving your head or just touching yourself or whatever. And then you come to a solution or a sentence that you wouldn't be able to do before. Oh, something happened. So it's like channeling. And then you review that video afterwards, and all of a sudden, Shower Me came up with a good idea that I can implement directly right now, because that makes fucking sense. But then I figured, you can't do that on Facebook. And Facebook also has been shadow banning me a fuck ton lately. And also TikTok, I'm not sure, because could be alluding to a dangerous activity in the shower. I could just slip on the soap or whatever have you. Or Instagram, I'm not sure. Still meta. But if I do it on YouTube, I would probably get banned. So that only leaves OnlyFans. Or whatever platform I would create, where I could post shower thoughts without being banned. Do you see my predicament? That's where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out how to be human, basically. I'm trying to just push the boundaries without really selling my soul or my integrity or whatever. I think that sometimes a person showering shouldn't be sexualized. Although I could sexualize it. I was currently trying a fucking coconut oil. The water resistance of coconut oil. which I fucking highly recommend. It is a very universal tool that is applicable for many things. Thank you for listening to my words that had to come out, apparently. I will log off, because now I have kind of tickled the algorithm a little bit, trying to see what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. Coming tomorrow, there's going to be an interesting event, and then as we move over to March 20th, there's going to be a lot of things happening. I'm just going to be trying to surf the wave, and then maybe, if I'm lucky, the same person who documented the whole wolf howl and the witch's cabin visit, all that stuff, will find it enjoyable and fun. I can join for more adventures. And then I have other people who are standing by to join in as well. That's a big ass fucking blank canvas with a lot of fucking paint, and I need to figure out how to fucking paint. All right. If you haven't already, I would really love it if you click the subscribe button or share this with whatever family member you think would love what we're talking about. Or if you just share for fuck's sake, or just for hex, just for shits and giggles, if you just share, I would really appreciate that as well. Because, as I said, at this point in time, more word of mouth and active conscious sharing seems to be the only way to get ahead with whatever we're talking about. Our pro-nature and pro-human narrative seems to not fall in good taste with the current overlords. But we're in an interesting time. And I think that if you start to push the boundary a little bit and see what happens, when that band starts to come a little back, you're going to be fucking shocked. You're going to figure out how to prepare for whatever comes in the future. Let's not go there. All right. Have a fantastic day, and